What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I am joined by my co hosts, my sister Delilah,
What's up?
my brother Derek,
What's up?
and my friend Dan.
What's going on?
And this week, you guys, we are talking about Shang-Chi, which just came out in theaters, along with a Marvel movie, the first all Asian cast Marvel movie to be in the MCU. And we're first going to do a spoiler-free review, let you know what we thought about the movie, and then we'll get into spoilers later. So make sure you sit back and enjoy our review. So first, I'm going to, in general, ask all of you guys, what did you think about Shang-Chi?
I liked it. It was better than I thought. Not that I thought it was going to be bad. I was going in thinking it was going to be good, but it exceeded my expectations for it.
Exceeded expectations. Okay.
Really? I thought you didn't want to see the movie.
No, I don't want to see Eternals.
Yeah, that was definitely Eternals that she definitely doesn't want to see.
I don't want to see that. I wanted to see this movie.
I have to say I'm not excited for Eternals.
I think it's going to be trash.
But Shang-Chi was, like, for me, one of the most anticipated Marvel movies to see this year. Like, besides Black Widow, which I was disappointed by, I wanted to see this movie the most. I was very excited to see this movie. And I have to say, I agree with Delilah. It did not disappoint, and it exceeded my expectations. I thought it was going to be good, but it was better than I thought it would be.
Agreed.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I liked the movie. I didn't really know what to expect going in. Never really heard much about Shang-Chi, so I was pretty open-minded and optimistic. But yeah, I liked it. Can I say what I liked? What no?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
What?
What did you like
I'm,
about
I'm,
it?
I'm trying not to spoil nothing. I like the characters, and I like the choreography of what they were doing. The fighting.
The fighting in the movie?
Yes.
Okay. Well, while Dan gets his mind together, I guess.
I got it together. That's what I'm trying to say.
I have heard of Shang-Chi before, probably in passing because I watch, like, stuff on YouTube about comics and stuff, but I've never actually read or seen anything, Shang-Chi related. So I didn't really know his story going in, so I don't know how closely they stuck to it. I think they stuck pretty close to it, but
What I know, and this is just what I've read in passing, is that he was trained as an assassin as a kid.
okay.
That part they kept. Everything else I don't know. I also didn't dive deep into it. And for me, I think I benefited by not knowing anything about him.
Yeah, it possibly could have been a benefit.
And I also think it also benefited by like having a trailer that didn't really tell you anything.
Oh, definitely. After watching this movie, that trailer, Marvel is
the
good
trailer
for this.
said nothing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that trailer was for this movie.
Well, I think all the shots in the trailer were actually in the movie.
They were.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it did not give away anything about this movie at all. People were guessing that it was going to be about like some kind of fighting tournament because you had the scene in the ring and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not about that.
Yeah, and I think it benefits us because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so I think it
Yeah.
was good. It's like you couldn't be disappointed.
True. Yeah. Like Dan was mentioning, the choreography was very good. I think every fight scene in this movie was so well choreographed, and it looked like it drew your eye, and it just looked
It looked
awesome.
like they was really fighting each other. I was like, y'all
Yeah.
did not draw this up. Like it looked like they really just randomly was fighting each other. But
Yeah.
it was beautifully done.
Yeah, I believe the director said they took inspirations from like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which if you've
I
seen
was
that,
going to say that.
Saw that.
I was
I
going to
saw
say
that,
that.
yeah.
It
I
reminded
did
me of
say
that.
that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
there
said
were
that
definitely some scenes that you can tell drew from, like, the kind of fluid, smooth motion that you get. But then you also had, and I'm going to talk about in movie facts, you also had, like, some of the up close kind of real physical fighting, and that kind of reminded me of like like some Jackie Chan movies and stuff
Mhm.
like that,
Yeah.
and
I
it
like
it was good.
the mixture with the fight where it was like, really in slow motion, so you could see the fluidity, and then like it's being quick, and then regular speed. I thought um how they the camera work, I should say, on that, I thought was done very, 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 very.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I have to say
Some of that
props
stuff
to
you had to slow down, or else you would have never seen it. Because like some of the stuff that they was doing, I was like, yeah, they had to slow this down, or else we would have. There's no way we would have seen that. It was moving too fast.
yeah.
It
Well, I'm
would have
like,
helped out.
props to everybody on this movie. Director, the whoever's the director of the cameras and stuff. I forget what they call that.
Riggers, the rig,
That's the thing. The
No,
the
there
grip,
camera
there
is
is an
on.
actual person that it's a
the
simple
grip,
word,
right? The camera
not,
grip, camera
but
grip.
whatever. Props to the crew and all that
And
as
I want to
well.
say, good acting too, especially with the main character. And I don't
With
know
Simu
his name. I
Liu.
know. Yeah, I was fearful of it being like maybe overacting,
No, I don't
possibly
think there
acting
was
it,
any overacting in this at all.
but it wasn't.
Aquafina,
It
I
wasn't.
thought she was funny. Like,
Yeah, I felt like she was herself. Like, that's like how she is.
I mean, yeah. I
I
mean,
felt
she's
like
the
she was
same
herself.
in every
Yeah,
movie, but at the same time, it's fine.
yeah,
yeah.
Like
But
she's
yeah,
the same
I
person.
feel like he did a good job too. And I was kind of afraid of like, of overacting, but he did good. He
Why would
did
there
good.
be overacting?
yeah. It's a Marvel movie. Yeah.
Um,
What I was gonna say, and I think that what this movie really benefits from, is that it doesn't feel like a Marvel movie.
Yes.
Like
it did
not
not.
even a
Yeah.
little bit. And I think it really helps. Like I'm glad we didn't throw in another Marvel character in there,
Hmm.
And I'm glad like for 99% of the movie, everyone was just regular people,
Yeah.
you know?
To be honest, this could have been like a non-Marvel movie, and you would have left it exactly the same.
Yeah.
To be honest, and I felt that too. I think it was like we were like 3/4 into the movie, and I was like, man, this doesn't even seem like it's a Marvel movie, and not in a bad way. Like I think it's excellent that way because I know a lot of people, even though I love the Marvel movies. A lot of people say, "Oh, they're so formulaic and stuff, and they're all the same." This definitely is not that, and it's refreshing.
Until the end. Because Marvel just cannot get away from their CGI fights.
there is there is a large CGI fight at the end.
Which it was fine. But I would have been happy if they did something different.
It was fine, but I have to say I was not as into the CGI fight as I was into all the rest of them.
Exactly. And I think that kind of just is like, oh, we're doing so great. And then we're just like, it is a Marvel movie after all.
Yeah.
And the
Probably
oh
because outside the CGI fight, it's like, yeah, they really get down like this in them
yeah.
other fights. Like, yeah, people really can do this. That's what's like mind blowing about it. Like,
Yeah.
people really can do this. And like, even the train, I don't know if I should say that, but the training that they were showing that he went
Yeah.
through, it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, people really do this like in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can actually see some of the different forms of martial art. One that I could pick out was Tai Chi. I think that was the what Michelle Yeoh's character was basically doing, and also Shang-Chi's mom. Um, and it's funny because we said this when we were watching the movie, but we're like, oh, it's like they're airbending, like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
it actually looks similar because the style that they use for the airbenders in that show, and I think in the live action non-movie that doesn't exist, in that too they actually use Tai Chi as kind of one of the basis for that. And so like you could just see the different styles,
Mhm.
and I don't know, it was very interesting to see.
Yeah, I think so. Another thing I want to bring out, his sister, which I don't know if he has a sister in the comics or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I thought she was fantastic. Honestly, I mean, like her fight scenes were great. I feel like, man, is she a better fighter than this dude?
She was a beast. We're gonna when we
Yes,
talk over
yeah.
spoilers. There was one fight she was in the beginning of the movie, and I was
Yeah,
like, ah.
yeah. Which then made me think like we could have used more of her. I think.
I hope she returns, honestly, and not just in like another Shang-Chi movie. Like I hope she comes back.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they bring her back.
Yeah, so I think like if I were to say anything slightly negative, I felt like we could have used more of her. The end of the middle of the movie kind of slowed down quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's like they spent that time, explaining more things to us. Not that we didn't need the explanation, is that we started off like action, action, action. And then it's just the next 30 minutes or so.
Second act.
It was just talking.
Yeah. I mean, it still had my interest.
No, I'm not saying it didn't, and it's not that I hated it. It's just like we started kind of high, then we dropped low, then we got back high, but then CGI fight.
Yeah.
I really hate this CGI. Somebody's, people got paid for that. But anyway, but yeah, what was I saying about his sister? Yeah, his sister. I kind of disagree with you on that as far as like using her more.
Okay.
I did like her. She was excellent. She was amazing. But I kind of liked that they gave us a taste of her. We can see what she can do, and I do believe that they will bring her back. But if we got like too much of her, it's like, all right, where do we take her from here? Can we elevate her from here, or is it just gonna be more of the same if we got her in another movie?
Yeah.
Since they gave us like a little taste of her, it's like, yeah, now they can definitely elevate her from there, and like we can like see what else she can do. But they built that anticipation, I think.
That
I don't know if that was
is
on purpose or not, but I think they did a good job with that.
all right. That's a valid point.
Mhm.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the idea. I'm pretty sure that was not their intention,
But
but
it leaves you wanting more to see more of her.
yeah, that is that's true indeed.
Okay. One last thing before we get to like spoilers. The villain, which we all know is the Mandarin, the real Mandarin. I really like what they did with him. It's not what you expected at all. Like if you went into this movie thinking, "Oh, this is what the Mandarin's going to do," you're wrong. No one guessed what happens with him in the movie, and
Yeah.
I think it was a good change of pace for villains in the Marvel universe, and it was just interesting,
Yeah, I agree. I think this is probably one of Marvel's more solid villains, and we all know they have a villain problem in their movies.
Yeah.
And I think when the villains, it falls in the category of like Killmonger and Thanos is they have a motivation, a motivation that even though it may be wrong, you know what it is and you understand it.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of brings out what makes a good villain. And he was one of that. It's like definitely not what I thought it was going to be going in because I'm basing off of, my knowledge of the Iron Man cartoon.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and it was completely different than that. And there was a reason for that also. But he was a good villain. And even though he,
He was.
yeah.
I was gonna say he was a good villain. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that also really helped this movie too.
Yeah.
Yep. I would say so far top 5 MCU villain.
Well, when you only have 3 good villains, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a whole bunch. No. Black Widow's villain wasn't good. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Don't even remember his name.
Dracoff?
Oh yeah, it was
Dracoff.
Dracoff. Oh man, wow.
Yeah, I didn't forget that.
remember that. Okay.
Yeah, and Taskmaster, kind of, not
Yeah,
really.
kind of Taskmaster. No, that's nothing. All right, so what we're gonna do since we're gonna get to spoilers. So if you haven't seen Shang-Chi, we're gonna give kind of our overall like should you go see it or not, which I think Three Rivals consensus is definitely go see this movie. It's a very good movie. And then so you can go watch the movie, then come back to the podcast and see what we have to say about the spoiler things. I'm pretty sure you'll be interested in that. And we can go ahead and jump into spoilers. Okay, guys, what did you think?
I just, you know what? Not knowing what the movie was going to be about, definitely wouldn't have guessed this. I mean, because overall, it's like, you know, he gets a postcard from his sister, which somehow a dragon tells him her address. Whatever.
Yeah, I was like, what? How do you know what that says? It's just a picture of a dragon.
Just a picture
but
of a dragon.
all right, I mean, he's smart. He's smart. You got it.
So, you know, he goes to China to, you know, warn his sister. They're like, hey, they're coming after me. Then his father's there, you know, they get beat up and I guess kidnapped by their dad or whatever.
All right. Oh, man. So we were talking about the fight scenes. First, the fight scene on the bus. Man, like,
That was a sweet fight scene.
that was a
Dope.
good fight scene. And funny, too, you had that guy that was recording. He was originally in Spider-Man Homecoming. He's the one that asked Spider-Man to do a flip.
Oh, okay.
So apparently he's going to be a reoccurring character.
Hey, why not?
Why
But
not?
that was funny because he just starts recording like, all right, I'm going to be ranking the fight as it goes along. I'm like, what?
You know, I actually did a little bit of karate back in the day, so yeah, I'm gonna rank the fight. Like, really, dude?
Like, no, you didn't.
You don't even look like you qualify.
What's weird about that bus scene? And maybe is it just me? Like the guys on the bus and just two random guys. Like I'm gonna need that necklace. Like,
I'm like, bruh.
which was I guess I could just ignore it. But like I really did feel like they just like we just gonna have two random people fight on a bus.
Well, I mean, they were sent from his dad.
Yeah, but still, that didn't just feel like I don't know, kind of a random. You couldn't meet this guy at his apartment or whatever. You just walk to a guy on the
True.
bus like I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, why would you decide like you're like, okay, he rides this bus every day, so we're gonna ambush him on the bus?
How about before he gets on the bus?
Oh, or maybe because he can't really escape the bus. You know, if he's out on the ground, he could run away or something like that. You know,
I feel like that's not what they were thinking.
I don't
And the
know.
guy works valet. Like, where was he
That's
going?
true. You could have just jumped him at his job.
Just saying. There was easier ways to do this than on a bus.
But then we wouldn't have had that cool scene.
It was a cool scene,
True.
but still.
So that scene was dope. Like I mentioned in the non-spoilers, Aquafina was just funny the whole way through. Although she had a little bit of a character arc in the movie. It's a small one. Tiny. You know. She got to shoot the dragon.
I mean, she did, you know, if she was a character without direction and then, you know, found motivation. And of course, she, you know, saves the day, even though she had all of 1 day worth of training.
Hey, if you got to shoot an arrow.
1 day worth of training.
Well,
Everyone
maybe,
else.
maybe she's had arrows
But
before.
she was okay with it already. Like the first time she shot an arrow, she hit the target. I'm guaranteed first time I pick a bow and arrow, I missed the target completely.
So should that not mean that she should probably have missed the target the first time?
Huh?
So
Well, maybe like she just has a little bit of a natural talent. You know, plus high pressure situation. Who knows? The adrenaline helped her aim.
Usually that goes the other way, doesn't it not?
Yeah, it messes up your aim. That's why you gotta take them pills to your adrenaline, keep from shaking.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. She had to. Okay.
I just like, you know.
Yeah, but one thing too, besides like the choreography of the fights, this is still choreography, but it wasn't just like a fight scene. Some of them, like the first time the Mandarin or what was his name, Wenwu?
I think.
Yeah. The first time he fought Shang-Chi's mother, did we get her name in the movie? I don't know if we did. Or I think they might have said it.
I don't know what it is, so we're just going to call her his mother.
Okay. That fight scene was interesting. We all were like, it's like they're dancing, basically.
Yeah, it was very pretty to look at. I'm not going to lie, but it was, at one point, I'm like, oh, so they're just not fighting anymore.
Yeah, pretty much, until she threw him in water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't cool. That call him Clothes off.
Yeah, but love at first sight, and he decided to leave his game banging ways behind so he can be with her.
True. Yeah, he changed his ways for her.
And then she died.
And yeah.
Wow.
What, isn't that how it went down?
Yeah.
Yikes.
All right, so who we see? Because he sees his sister who's running a underground fight ring, fight club. First rule about Fight Club:
Don't talk about Fight Club.
don't talk about Fight Club. But we're gonna talk about it. So there were a few things. It looked like there was somebody with extremists in there. Y'all see that guy with like the glowing skin and stuff?
I thought it was just a guy with glowy skin.
Oh, okay. I thought it was extremists. It looked similar.
I'm gonna say no to that. Like, why? Didn't they all get destroyed?
Okay, maybe not. It was a glowy skin guy. Interesting fact though, he was in the ring with someone who was a Black Widow in the Black Widow movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, and she was.
And are those regular glasses that you wear, or are they like?
That's what I'm saying.
Informative glasses?
Like
I don't
you
know.
like pause and zoom and enhance on these scenes.
It's called YouTube,
Yeah,
where
man.
other people pause it. Actually, honestly, I don't know how they figured this out. They had to watch the movie like several times, or I don't get it because this is in theaters only, so it's not like you can slow down and pause. But other people have figured it out, and if they figure it out, I can figure it out. But yes, she was one of the Black Widows in the Black Widow movie, and she was in there.
Not
which is pretty cool.
surprising. I mean, this seems like a kind of place that super powered people go to make some little cash on the side, and
Right? Yeah.
you fight into these things because you had Wong there from Doctor Strange, him and Abomination, which was in the trailer, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's about. Nothing at all.
Yeah, we made all this big old deal about Abomination and Wong fighting each other, and it's in the trailer and stuff. It was just a 2-second fight between the two, and then they left.
And that's it. That's it. Just Doctor Strange is broke now, so he needs that cash.
Yeah, but I mean, it was still kind
but
of
I
like.
was just like, is Abomination a good guy now, though?
No,
I'm pretty sure he's not.
no, he's just fighting.
But Wong did walk off with
Right.
him.
They probably
They
in
went to
He's
cahoots.
this
right.
little portal thing.
Maybe there's an agreement.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, hey, we're gonna do this fight, split the winnings.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe that probably never will be explained.
It really doesn't have to.
It
It
might
doesn't
not.
have to. But
It doesn't have to,
Really doesn't have to.
but it does lead for speculations
now I
until
want to know.
stated otherwise.
Yeah, but this scene leads up to us seeing his sister for the first time.
Yes. Okay. So this was the fight scene I was talking about.
And kicked his butt.
Yes.
Yes.
Now he wasn't fighting back that much, really, but still, like.
But remember what she said, though, because her father wouldn't train her and only him.
Mm-hmm.
So then she said she trained herself to do everything they did, but better.
Better.
We did see that in their little montage, and she started like
Yeah.
training.
So honestly, I mean, I think she's the better fighter.
Well, the kick she knocked him out with, I was like,
Yeah.
ow.
Yeah. Yeah, she's an angry person.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah, so I did enjoy her fight scenes. They had the little fight on the scaffolding. That was interesting.
The people who his father sent, of course, comes again because she's like, I didn't send you anything. You left me behind, and I hate you still. And and he's like, but you sent me a letter. And she's like, I did. And then, of course, walls blow up, and then, assassins come to get them.
I swear bad guys, like, they have it timed. They're like, oh, they're gonna figure it out. Let's wait. Oh, they figured it out. Let's go. Because it's always like timed perfectly.
Yeah, always.
I
Ridiculous.
didn't see the explosion bad guy answers.
Yes. But that does lead us to meeting his father for the first time. And then you learn his motivation. And basically is, he misses his wife.
Yeah. And if I was doubting it for the movie until the end where I'm like, okay, no, he actually because he's trying to go into his wife's old village and break down this gate because he thinks his wife is still alive and trapped
Yeah.
behind this gate.
Yeah.
And I thought he was lying or whatever, but no, that was his real motivation. Like, no malicious intent at all. And I was like, wow, I did not expect that. Didn't expect it at all.
Yeah, it was just really like just trying to save the woman that he loves, which is very, because I agree, like, because like I don't trust this dude, but actually the whole time I was like, I don't trust nobody. I didn't trust Michelle Yeoh when she first. I was like, she's lying, and it's just like no one was lying. No one, because he was saying that her village, since they didn't want him there, Tao Lao, and it's kind of like a magical Pokemon world.
It does have a lot of strange characters in it. There's the chicken
that
pig
butt chicken.
thing without a face.
Yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
butt chicken.
Tell me that some of those things didn't look like an Eevee to you.
It
That little
it looked like a
little fox
Vulpix
thing, yeah.
in Ninetales, yeah.
All them tails, yeah, that's it.
But
yeah.
that's an
And
Asian lore,
Bulbasaur.
especially Japanese lore. Nine-tailed fox is
Oh, is it?
it's a big thing, and I think it's in both Japanese and Chinese lore.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I
So-
know zero about
Why it would be in Pokemon as well. Also, Naruto. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a cartoon.
yeah,
Okay.
Anime.
it's a pretty good one. It's long though.
Oh, well then I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
Like they put their hands behind themselves, then their head forward and run, like when they do at the end of the.
Oh
the
yeah, it is
stuff,
the
yeah.
one where they have their hands behind. But apparently, it's not the only anime that's like that.
I don't know.
I bet it's known for that. It's weird. It's like, why would you run like that?
Right, like if you fall, your face is the first thing that's going.
Yeah, you are falling face first.
But yeah,
That's
it had
just
a
my
bunch of
take on
weird creatures in it, and you can only get through it through a moving forest.
Yes. And so, of course, only once a year does I guess the front part where you can go in and navigate your way.
A straight path through.
Yeah. So basically, his father believed that the village of Tao Lao, I think I'm saying that right. Apologize if I'm not. Had basically his wife wasn't dead. That they kidnapped her and trapped her behind the gate, and he was gonna go in there and rescue her. That now that he had the map on how to get in.
Yeah.
But because he's evil and he was always evil, he was just going to destroy the whole village in the process.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're going to kill a bunch of innocent people. And he's like, I'm about to get my girl. And that was his
That's
motivation.
basically it. Yeah. So he
Yeah.
planned on burning down a village.
Yeah,
Of
I
course.
was just like, I don't think you have to kill the whole village to get to your wife, but he's just like, nope, killing
Well,
everybody.
That's kind of interesting, where I felt like maybe we need a little bit more of him too, because it opens up telling us that he was the leader of the Ten Rings. And he's, basically immortal.
Yeah, because he for 1,000 years
He's
he
been
did.
around for forever. And I kind of wanted more background on. It's like they kind of said like he's a bad guy. He's always been until he met his wife. Then he put it all away, and then she died, and he comes back to what he used to be. I did feel like we didn't get enough about what he used to be.
True, they didn't really expound that much on the Ten Rings. We've seen. Look, the Ten Rings have been around since the beginning of the MCU, right? Like they were the ones that kidnapped Tony Stark.
Yeah.
The only time it was the fake Ten Rings was in Iron Man 3 when Aldrich Killian pretended to be the Mandarin. Which in this movie, they said like, so Wenwu's not even called the Mandarin,
No.
but Aldrich Killian like came up with the name because he didn't know who was the leader of the Ten Rings.
Yeah, so he comes up with it, and
Yeah.
they even made a point that said that he named himself after a dish.
A chicken dish.
They're afraid of an orange. I dig it.
Which is it's kind of funny if you really think about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I felt like maybe we could have got a little bit more about exactly what the Ten Rings are about.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I would be down for a Ten Rings movie.
Maybe we'll get one.
Yeah, well now
Yeah,
that
they did.
his sister is the leader of the Ten Rings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Maybe
guess
we'll get
she's
one.
evil now.
She
Or
seemed more
maybe,
of an anti-hero type.
Hmm.
that's kind of
Yeah,
one
I
of
don't
those
think she's evil.
freelance type deals. Maybe not evil. It's just I'm not a hero either.
I think she maybe just found an opportunity because she always felt like left behind because her brother said, I'm going to be back in 3 days, and he never came back for her,
Yeah,
which
I
is
feel her
dirty.
being angry about that.
So I think this is kind of like she sees this opportunity because remember, like her father wouldn't train her. You know, her brother leaves her. And then now she says, I have this organization that can be all mine and I can have, all the power. Why not?
Yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah. So, we were talking about them in the magical world.
Oh.
Yeah, so it turns out his wife was not talking to him.
Yes.
It is actually the dragon behind the gate who uses people to try to get him to break out.
Yeah, so apparently, he lures people to the gate and like lies to them, saying
He said
that
they're
whatever's
what they desire the
Whatever's
most.
there. Yeah, yep.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. The greatest desires.
So he's the Dweller in Darkness is what it was called. Is a real character in the Marvel comics.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think from what I saw, they're along the lines of like Nightmare, and stuff like that in the Marvel comics.
Ah, so another connection.
Yeah, apparently the
Like,
Dweller in Darkness was the one. Okay, so here's some Galactus lore. If you guys want to hear that.
Okay.
Well, Galactus exists because he was the last person to. He's the only person to survive the collapse of his universe / multiverse, and his multiverse collapsed because of the Dweller in Darkness.
Why would he have caused the collapse?
I forgot what it was. He did something and caused the collapse.
Okay.
And then the survivor fused with the sentience of the universe and became Galactus. Yeah, comics.
You had me up until that point. Up until that very point.
Yeah, that part is like his comics. But yes, Dweller in Darkness is a real character. And I don't know, it looks kind of like that. It's like a squid head thing with, I don't know.
I'm just gonna call it a dragon.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's kind of like, he was like a dragon locked up in a castle, couldn't get free. I mean, only thing he didn't have was fire breath.
True. Interesting. I don't think Asian dragons had started off at least with fire breath.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that a European thing?
Yeah, it was the European dragons had the fire breath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're more water based, which you definitely can see in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about these airbending powers?
Okay.
See, are you glad you made me watch that show? Because now I have something to relate to.
She immediately made that reference. You only watched 3 episodes.
It's okay. I understood it.
Okay.
Now she's an expert.
Really? So, can someone tell me, does he have these powers in the comics?
I don't know. Well, none of us know anything about Shang-Chi.
In the comics, he said he has no superpowers. He just well skilled in the different
Martial arts.
training of martial arts.
Oh, so they just added that for the movie?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I guess you could be like, oh, it's technically just a martial arts skill that he's doing.
That's more than that. I mean, the dude was controlling the elements.
Not really. He made a few little
It was
gusts
just
of
more
wind.
so like a wind.
He created
He
air
didn't
bubbles so
make
he
a
doesn't drown.
No, I think those air bubbles was the dragon.
That was from the dragon.
You think that was a dragon?
Yeah, I think the dragon
Yeah.
did that so he didn't drown.
Oh, I mean, he'd have been dead anyways.
No, I
He
think
Yes,
was in
he
the water.
will.
He was in the
fine.
water too long before the air bubbles came.
It was happening at the same
You know what I
time.
mean?
You can't. It was movie time. It's movie time.
Man, get that out of here. Dude would have been dead.
It's fine.
That, and I'm pretty sure his father broke every rib in his body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That
had that
last
fight
one.
between them, and it was just like I was like, well, okay. I figured he was actually gonna break the gate down, but I didn't think Shang-Chi was gonna lose like that. Though.
Yeah. And then, is it just me, or did he have time to save his father?
What do you mean?
After when the dragon snatched up his dad, I was like, you gonna do something about this?
That was in slow motion.
Man, nah, he ain't even try.
What was he gonna do?
At least shoot at it
I don't
and
know
get
what he was
blocked.
gonna
Shoot at it
do.
with
Yeah,
what?
you
He
know
did
what?
not have. He did not have a projectile.
What are
I'm
you
gonna
talking
try
about?
something.
He
Something.
wasted his Kamehameha on his father.
His
He didn't have
what?
it no more.
Kamehameha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kamehameha.
if you're gonna make a reference, you gotta get it right.
What is that?
Dragon Ball Z.
A fireball.
Dragon Ball Z.
Hadouken. Okay, how about that? You get that reference.
Fireball.
You can.
Why
He
are
didn't
you
shoot a fireball. What are you talking about,
when
though?
he had all 10 rings?
But he didn't have the
When he
rings
had all
anymore.
10
His
rings.
dad had the rings.
Look,
Throw
he
a
could have
rock at
did
him.
something. Thank you. Throw a rock. Pretend like you trying to save your father.
That was kind of messed
What
up.
a
I was
rock
like,
dude.
Nothing, but it's the effort that counts.
I think it was kind of messed up that his father died. I was like, ah, man, dang. They got him.
I really thought the aunt was going to die, but she did not,
She didn't die.
which
No.
is cool.
I thought she was too. I'm with you, Delilah. I thought she was too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so Shang-Chi has the 10 rings now.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, that makes him pretty, like, I mean, he was already dope, but now.
So here's my thing. You have him
Mhm.
and Captain Marvel. Do you really need anybody else?
Nah, man, they pretty much a beast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't. Like,
I mean,
what
you could have
beats
said that in the beginning with like, you got Hawk and you got Thor. Do you really need anybody
Well,
else?
Thor's always
No,
off
but you're
world.
talking about two people that can be beaten. Both of them.
Not a lot of
Uh.
people on Earth could beat Thor.
On Earth.
Yeah.
We fight a lot of things that are not from Earth.
Well, I have a feeling the villains are gonna step up because apparently Thor: Love and
Yeah.
Thunder is
Who are they going to have to?
yeah.
If we're throwing in all of these powered heroes.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Well, that plus, I'm guessing the Eternals are gonna be in more than just their movie, right?
I don't need to see
And
that
I
one.
saw the trailer. You basically got like a Superman type guy on their squad, so at least he can fly and shoot laser beams. So
Yeah. Well, or I don't know. Maybe the movie.
Flying Cyclops.
Yes.
Flying Cyclops.
well, he
That
has-
is
basically-
exactly what's on that
okay.
team. Yes.
I think there's more of Superman, but okay, all right. We can go with that.
Flying Cyclops.
I never heard that one before. That's a new one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so yeah, Shang-Chi's a beast. I want to see him in more movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think we will.
Well,
Well, they said, wait, no, you know what? We were talking about seeing a 10 Rings movie. The end was the 10 Rings will return.
Yeah.
That was the end of the movie. The 10 Rings will return.
yeah.
So I'm guessing
we already
we're
knew
going to get a
Shang-Chi
10
was
Rings movie
Yeah. Well, but
or something.
something. It's
Yeah.
going to be the second movie that maybe have more of his sister
Is
than
he?
him.
Oh, he has to fight his sister.
Maybe
know.
she'll be more main, or
Yeah. What was surprising, I
Maybe.
know you were talking about the village and all the creatures and whatnot. This movie was definitely, and I should have mentioned it before, spoilers, but like it had more of a fantasy vibe to it than I thought. Like you said, the trailers gave no allusion to this at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
was interesting.
Yeah, well, it was like I was kind of saying, like in the beginning, like when he's with his people, and then the forest closed, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
Mm.
And it's just that's what I realized. Like, oh, this movie is like nothing at all. What I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
Um,
no butt bunnies in the trailers.
Yeah,
Would we? I gotten the same reception if they put it in the trailer. Well, I think the dragon was in the trailer.
I don't think it was
The
I don't
part
think it
where he
was.
met it underwater was, yeah.
the
it was like a-
underwater one was.
yeah.
Oh yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you
People
have that,
speculating it was Fing Fang Boom.
Yeah.
which it is not.
It's not Fing Fang Boom, no.
It's not.
Yeah, I mean, like the little chicken pig thing that they have, and then like
Butt bunny.
the lions that look like dragons in the face.
Well, those are like you've seen those statues, like
Yeah.
They are like lions.
Yeah.
But I forgot what they call them. What kind of lions?
I know they're
they call 'em.
lions, but they're not lions.
Yeah, they're like a mythical creature from Chinese lore, I believe.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, very interesting. Just not expecting him to go into this super secret village.
Ah man, y'all remember that scene where the guy like tries to shock the
and he
lion?
Oh, and he slapped fire out his face. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was
I
funny.
don't know why he did that. Don't fight the
that's
lion.
It was so funny because he just went and attacked him like for no
They're
reason.
like, why
He
though,
was
dude?
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, like, why'd you run past the people to attack this lion?
Right, easier targets, guy.
I guess he thought he'd get the big thing out first, right? You know, check that
Take
out.
out the big gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Smack.
not. I'm gonna stay away from the wild animal. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the CGI fight. It was okay. They did have some moments in it. Him saving his sister on the back of the dragon.
You know, there were some good moments. Well, one, I think the moment with him arriving on the dragon before we got to the big fight at the end
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
That was sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, my problem with the CGI fight is that it was just a CGI fight. Not that it looked bad. Of course, second time around it's probably gonna look like, well, but it looked fine. The action was fine. It's just kind of like we do this in every movie.
Yeah, they're going to do it in every movie.
And then it's just like I felt like that fight
It's
he
not.
had.
It was a lot better than the Venom CGI fight.
Yeah, but like, don't you think like if it would have ended with like the fight he had with his dad,
Mhm.
something like
Yeah,
I
that
like,
would have been spot on.
yeah.
That would have been spot on. Yep.
Yeah. What? So he doesn't open the gate?
Well, no, I'm just saying you could take something like that fight and have that instead of.
Oh yeah, because what if they made the Dweller in Darkness like a humanoid type thing? You know.
Yeah, or I don't know. He does open and then I don't know. There was just I felt another way to do it.
Yeah. Actually, no. If you made the Dweller in Darkness humanoid, he could have had a hand-to-hand fight with it, and it'd be almost the same. But Shang-Chi still has to defeat the.
Yeah. Or he could have used his 10 rings or something because he wasn't really using it. Like when he used it to create a fireball and
Yeah. And they said in the movie he Kamehameha the.
so yeah, I don't know, just something different would have been nice.
Okay. All right. Do we have any movie facts?
Did we want to talk about the mid-credit scene?
Oh yes, true. Okay, so there were two. The first one was when they met with Wong. Was that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So basically, they're trying to figure out where the 10 rings are from, and apparently, when Shang-Chi got his hands on the 10 rings, it let off a beacon.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna theorize. We got 3D rivals theories going on. What's up with the 10 rings?
In the world of the internet, they're saying this probably has something to do with the Eternals.
I was thinking that it has something to do with the Eternals. I think I mentioned that yesterday, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay. Because Eternals is the next movie. Why not?
Yes. So, I don't know if you guys noticed this. I thought about it late last night.
Okay.
When did
Okay.
this movie take place?
It's present day.
Ah.
There were some posters where it was talking about surviving the blip and whatnot.
Bruce Banner is Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
He's not Hawk.
Yeah.
In Endgame.
His arm was in a sling.
Yes, so did he come back from being Smart Hawk to that?
Oh, he did. He reverted back to Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like, I'm saying that. And then Captain Marvel didn't have her funky haircut. Not saying you can't grow out your hair, but.
What do you think? Well, this takes place after Endgame, though. Because
Yeah.
his arm is in a sling.
I noticed that, but then I was like, how did he revert back?
I don't know.
Just questions. I don't think they thought about it. I think this is another thing of Marvel overlooking things.
No, that
But yeah,
with Bruce
but
Banner, I think they definitely thought that over. Smart Hawk didn't go over well, and they had to change it.
They didn't have to change it. Who hated Smart Hawk? We hated the fact that you didn't show us him becoming that.
That's why it didn't go over
Yeah.
well.
So they're just gonna so you make it worse.
By not showing him,
By not
him
showing
going
us
back.
come back?
We don't have Hawk movies. That's everything with the Hawk happens off screen.
just
Yeah, I mean the stupid contract that they got with Universal, like that, I feel like that is so dumb.
that's okay. We don't need a Hawk movie, honestly.
No, I'm fine. Although I would like to see Red Hawk or something. That'd be cool.
I
Well,
would, yeah.
they probably got rights to that.
Yeah. Well, when did you think it take place?
No, I'm just saying it was just two things I've noticed. Like, okay, yes, I know his arm was in a sling, but then I'm like, but he's not the Hawk.
Hmm.
So, which is kind of weird because he definitely ended Endgame as the Hawk.
True. Yeah, he was at the funeral as the Hawk. Maybe he figured it out, or maybe he just reverted one day.
Hmm.
Or maybe he was the cheapest person they could find to put in this movie.
Oh
Maybe
wow.
that. Well, he had to. They had to use a smart person.
No,
To,
I think they got it. The movie for a reason though. Like there's definitely a reason.
but no,
Is
I
it?
think this is 2023. Oh no, someone figured it out. And they're like, this basically happens at the same time as Far From Home. I forgot how they put it together, but apparently it lines up with Far From Home. So Peter Parker would be out fighting Mysterio
So
right
Far
now.
From Home was only a couple of months.
Far From Home was the summer of 2024, I think.
No, that'd have been like a whole year later.
No, because Endgame supposedly happened in October of 2023, and it was summer, so that would have to be 2024. So this would be summer
Then why was he
2024.
still acting like a baby about Tony Stark being dead?
Who's baby? Wait, you talking about Spider-Man?
Yeah. I mean, it was like 8 months later.
But they also had murals of the guy in front of his face. I don't know. People tend to still be sad about their dead loved ones.
I don't know. He was acting like it happened yesterday.
No, I think that was fine.
It's like you
What
people
what he
grieve.
meant to him, like what Tony Stark meant to Spider-Man. I mean, it's like your father-son kind of deal.
Yeah, he
He ain't
wasn't
got no
like
dad.
crying, bent
He
over, crying
wasn't. I
over.
don't know. He was all red in the face.
No, the point of the movie is he had all this weight on his shoulders because he felt like he had to kind of fill in Tony Stark's shoes, which he at the end of the
Yeah.
movie it's like you don't have to. You could just be.
No, I understand the
Yeah,
movie.
you-
I'm just saying it's been nearly a year.
Oh my goodness,
There's no
she's
time-
heartless.
There's no time.
Well, it's nice to know that when I die,
She's
you
like,
will have
well,
no
it's
problem.
been 2 months,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's okay.
Right.
No problem.
No, she's gonna be like, "Oh, it's been 2 hours. I'm good."
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys, move on. It's like, yo, his body's still here.
Right, and then when you turn around, there's a big like mural of your face everywhere.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, but yeah,
Wow.
so apparently, yeah, this lines up with Far From Home, as far as it is. Plus, I guess Shang-Chi wouldn't have gotten blipped because it had a thing. He graduated in 2017, and like his age lined up where he would have still been alive for those 5 years.
Oh, I could care less if he got snapped or not.
Just make it so we can keep Marvel's continuity in check.
Okay.
But yeah, so back to the 10 Rings. So we think that it has something to do with the Celestials.
I think so because they were saying they don't know where it originated. It's like thousands of years old. To keep it connected with the rest of the MCU, that's the only thing else that's coming up.
Yeah, I thought that too. Plus, the rings in the comics are technology, and these seem to be technology. So it's like maybe it's celestial technology.
Well, in the comics, they're from aliens, aren't they?
Yeah, they're aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone had a theory, which I think is completely incorrect, but that it is from King the Conqueror.
And he sent the rings back in time.
Right, like it's future technology that he brought back with him in the past, because King the Conqueror was like an Egyptian pharaoh at some point,
And then he lost them,
and he lost them or something like that.
and he just didn't get them back.
Somebody's always losing important stuff.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I was like, I feel like that one's a stretch. I don't think so. It doesn't seem. And then what would King the Conqueror use these for?
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
I do want to
The
know what the
king and the
beacon is
conqueror
for.
always use future weaponry though.
Yes, but why this?
Yeah,
That
but
is the mystery.
and then part of the theory is that they're not like really using them to their full potential because the rings in the comics had a lot of different powers,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So, although in our cartoon he only used them to make a weird beam off his hand.
I think that was a limit of technology more than anything else.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I do want to know.
Okay.
The second in credit scene was just his sister taking
Yeah.
over the Ten
She was
Rings.
supposed to go back to disband the Ten Rings, but she decided to take it over herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
look
don't
out
blame
for
her.
that.
I mean, hey, if I can have a super secret assassin team,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
it's
no
not bad.
brainer.
yeah. All right, are we ready for random movie facts?
All right, movie facts.
Okay.
Movie.
There we go.
So I just have just a little tidbit about his comic book character.
Okay.
They did make some changes because when they first debuted, there was based off a lot of Asian stereotypes.
Yeah. There's a
So
lot of changes. Mandarin is not Shang-Chi's father in the comics.
no, it was crap. What was it?
Fu Manchu.
Yes, which is they
Horrible.
changed it because that's horrible.
Mhm.
And Fu Manchu is based off of some British guy made it up.
Yeah. And then even like the way he was illustrated was just very bad. Very bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some changes has been made to his character over time, but what has stayed the same was that he was trained to be an assassin since he was a kid. I found this interesting, and I just wanted to bring it out. Was that when the writers first debuted him, they were told to make him half white because otherwise the comic book readers wouldn't read it with an Asian lead.
Why was this always a thing? I don't understand. And guess what? Yeah. So another bit of fact that you mentioned that. So his mom in the comics was white, and what did they say? It was somebody of like perfect genetics. Like yeah, like she supposedly had perfect genetics or like whatever superior
Yeah.
person, which
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So he was modeled after Bruce Lee,
Of course.
was obviously, but in order to, to actually sell these comics, they had to make these compromises. And the writers now are saying like, they regret, like they went along with these things, and it was also things about like how the characters was drawn that you mentioned. Some of it had to do with the limit of technology
Yeah.
and getting, colors right, so they just end up looking more stereotypical than they should have. And I also thought it was interesting, totally unrelated, but the same writers that did this also wrote on Luke Cage.
Oh yeah.
And he was saying that how in the South, they wouldn't even sell the comics because Luke Cage was a black lead.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Wow.
So just, just awful. And I guess, some progress has been made since then. Some.
Yeah.
Um,
And we call this the Golden Age, right?
Yeah.
You
Honest
might want to
gold.
rethink Golden Age for some people.
Yeah.
Apparently not if you're Chinese.
Just absolutely ridiculous. Just
trash, but
dumb that they even had to think to like, oh, we have to do this just to sell a comic book. Like, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
like, look, if you don't like me, forget you then. I don't want you reading my stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a shame that they say like, oh, make them half white so people would read it. I don't
Yeah.
think readers would have cared if the character was Asian.
Back then I would say they absolutely, like I just told you, they wouldn't sell
back
Luke
then,
Cage
they
comic book.
probably.
So you saying they go far as like, we're not gonna sell a comic book with a black guy in it. I guarantee they just say the same thing with an Asian guy in it.
That's a shame then.
Yeah.
That's a shame because you know what, like these cultures and stuff. One, be well rounded. It's good to learn about them, and that's one thing I have to say about the movie. Now, obviously, I'm not Chinese, so I can't speak on the
You're not?
Chinese culture. but I felt like it did a good service to Chinese culture in the movie.
I would like to believe so, but I can't say for sure
Yeah.
because I know nothing. Okay, so apparently in the 80s, Stan Lee wanted to do a series on Shang-Chi with Brandon Lee as the star.
Bruce Lee's son.
Bruce Lee's son, yes. That's dope.
That would have been dope.
Yeah. But obviously that didn't happen. So the guy who plays his father, Tony, is it Lu?
I think it's Leon.
This is his first American film and his first English-speaking role.
Really?
Yes, but he speaks fluent English. So, but whatever. This is his first time doing an American film.
Okay.
And so as we were saying, how they made a lot of changes to his father.
Yeah.
One, he's not called the Mandarin and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Is Marvel basically gave him full authority to make his own history of the character, which I think is great, especially since in a comic it was based on so many stereotypes.
Oh, so the director, they gave him just do whatever.
No,
Tony Leung.
yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
because he
to
didn't
decide.
even do any research at all on the Mandarin.
Okay, I don't think he needed to.
Well, no, especially since we're changing it.
Yeah.
For all the good reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we mentioned earlier. It's like, oh, like this is completely different. It's just history because they just gave him leeway. Like, what do you want to do with this guy?
Right. Yeah.
And so then the last one I have, which I think is going to roll into some of the items you have. So shooting the bus scene. So this movie was shot in Australia, since Disney inherited from Fox. So they start shooting movies there. So they actually shipped a couple of San Francisco buses to Australia, put them on gimlets, I think they're called, to make them rock and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
And then actually shot the fight scene within the bus. And so the actors was like, yeah, we were getting hurt a lot. Because you're doing these moves that you practice, and then they're like, put you on the bus and say, okay, go.
Yeah, in a bus. So they really fought in the bus.
They really fought in a moving bus.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just cool, just how they brought it all together. And I know you had a couple of other,
things with the stunts. Yeah, one of the stunt coordinators was someone that I believe was on the stunt team for Jackie Chan.
Okay.
And worked with Jackie Chan a lot. So that's why I think, especially in the beginning, you saw like Shang-Chi's fighting style was a lot of defensive type fighting, and using the environment around him, taking his jacket off or putting it on and stuff to block, and using the environment around him is similar to what you saw in like Jackie Chan movies, which was very, very interesting. And yeah, so you had kind of that behind the movie as well. All right, cool. Any nits to pick?
I don't really have one. I mean, my one was, I don't know what the guy's power is. It's not a nitpick, it's more of a question.
Or what's his power? He doesn't
What
have
is his
any power.
powers?
He doesn't have, he's Batman.
Okay, I get that he's Batman. That'd have been fine until he started moving the wind.
If you know martial arts, you can move wind. You didn't know that?
Batman can break wind.
So, just that, and he'd have been super duper dead when his dad shot him into the water.
Yeah, probably. But it's a movie.
Because wasn't he unconscious?
He was like unconscious. He was like floating down. And despite what Darren says, he was in the water for like 10 minutes.
He was fine.
Okay, Darren, we're going to put you in the water for 10 minutes and see if you're fine.
I'm not Shang-Chi. So
you are human, though.
I can't hold my breath for 5 seconds. And then, I'll pass out. So
yeah. So I didn't really have a lot of nitpicks, but those were just questions that I had.
Got you. Yeah, I don't think I really had. Oh, we didn't mention Trevor Slattery, did we?
Oh, no, we were going to come back to him, but we didn't.
Yeah, he's in the movie. He's back.
Oh, so I guess we should have talked about it. So basically, Marvel was like, oh, yeah, all that nonsense from Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
So, and I really feel like they went out of their way to be like, hey, we're sorry about this.
Yeah. Yeah, the fans did not like it.
Yeah. So when they go to their dad's compound, Trevor's there. And basically, he goes to jail for being a terrorist. And then, the Ten Rings come and snatch him up, and they were going to kill him. but they didn't because he's an
They thought he
actor.
was funny.
So basically, he has been locked up all this time. But that's how they met the butt pig that told them how to get to Tao Lao,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. The magical city. And so unlike their dad who had to like wait at the front of the gate, they went in the back and like as the forest moved, they drove through
Yeah,
to
which
get
was
to
an
it.
interesting scene. Yeah.
It was, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah. So yeah, we did not mention that, but we should have. So yes, everything in Iron Man 3
Yeah.
is not true.
Basically didn't happen.
Yeah.
That whole
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And it did upset him that they used him.
Yes.
You know, basically pretending to be him.
Honestly, if you're Roger Killian, why would you? I don't. Why would you be like, oh man, I don't know who the leader of this terrorist group is, but I'm gonna pretend that I am them. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? I'm not gonna go around and say like, oh, I'm one of the terrorist groups in the Middle East. Like, no,
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, why didn't he
that
just
is
make
a
up his own
very
terrorist
quick
group?
way
Right.
to get yourself killed.
So yeah. Um. Okay. Cool. So are we going to berate the movie?
Yes.
All right. Delilah, you want to start?
I'll pay for that.
Okay. Dan?
You didn't say who was next. Okay, so I would pay for that.
Okay.
I will pay for that as well.
All right. Cool. Cool. I was gonna give the same rating. I would pay for that, but I feel like this movie deserves to get clarification, so I'm gonna give a number rating as well.
Okay.
So I would pay for that as our second highest rating. I would say this is about an 8.5 out of 10. I think this was a very good movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I give it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent movie. Definitely should go see it if you haven't saw it. It is worth a watch. One of Marvel's best movies out there. I think they should do this more. We've seen it with Black Panther. You've seen it with this. When they really give the directors the the leeway to work on the movies. I mean, we saw it with Thor
Yeah.
Ragnarok, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the movies that the Russos directed. When they really give them that leeway and they don't put themselves in okay, we have to be this hero in America that fits this kind of
When you,
mold.
I think when you allow them to dive into a culture and just, kind of explore it, put it up on screen, put it in front of everybody with like not really any restrictions or anything, like, just let people see it. Like it's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is what makes life interesting. The variety, you know what I'm saying? Like this is stuff that we don't know much about. Like everybody think they know something about karate and everything, but like the differences in the culture, why they do certain things a certain way, where, it's interesting and it comes off on screen. Like it keeps you interested in the story. It's like that. I feel like they should do that more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, it's I think it's excellent for world building too. Like if you're building this giant universe, so it's a world. So we step outside of the normal cities we see, like Los Angeles and New
Normal
York.
kind of people we see.
Yeah, just everything doesn't take place in America.
Yeah.
New York,
Yes,
freaking New
everything
York.
is.
Yeah, everything doesn't take place in New York.
Yeah, everything's not about New York, and everything doesn't have to be star spangly either.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it does not.
So yeah, this was a refreshing movie to
Yeah.
watch.
It was good, and I hope that means that we're getting more of this, more of things where it's a superhero movie without really being a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, because like we said, this could have not been a Marvel movie and like just a movie that was put out, and they wouldn't have to change a thing about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Except for the credit scene, they would change that.
wait,
What?
Yes, that intrinsically makes it a Marvel movie.
Exactly. But outside of that, though, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Could have been a standalone movie. Like it's dope. I like it. So bring us more of that, Marvel, please.
Absolutely. Well, that is our thoughts on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. What were yours? Let us know in the comment section below. What did you think about it? Did you enjoy the movie? What did you like most? And make sure you leave a like and subscribe. As always, would appreciate that. We're getting pretty close to 1 million subscribers. Only 999,952 left to go. So, you know, you can help us reach that
Yeah,
number.
we're getting close. We're getting close,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, pretty close, pretty close. So if you're listening to us in podcast form, make sure you leave a rating and a review as well. And other than that, thanks again for watching and listening, guys. We definitely appreciate it. Peace out.